Hello, everyone. It is Evolutions here with some breaking news. This is going to be a short little breaking news podcast. I am Jet, joined today by my fellow colleagues, Rizu,
Hello.
Moosh,
Hey guys.
and Lindsay.
Hey!
So, obviously, if you've been living under a rock, you probably have not seen the news that's been going around the internet today ahead of tomorrow morning's Nintendo Direct, and that is the supposed findings of trademarks for Pokemon Sun and Moon version. This has picked up a lot of rapid steam, and we each have our own opinions about it. And I'm going to go around to everyone. Like I said, we're going to keep this short. So let's go to Rizu first on her thoughts about this trademark news that's come out of a possible 2 new Pokemon games.
Well, first of all, I'm super excited and hoping that even if they don't come out right away, that they do come out because I love the names. I will be definitely getting Pokemon Moon, considering, I love the moon. I named my daughter Luna. But, in all reality, it is around the right time. They come out, new generation comes out every 3 to 4 years. The last game, X and Y, came out in 2013. I don't actually think it'll come out this year, but I think they might announce it for next year. And that's really my opinion, is that it's probably not going to come out this year, even if it does, because that does have to come out, but it'll probably be announced for next year.
All right, Lindsay, your thoughts.
Okay, so as we've known in the past with Pokemon, they trademark names from time to time. They've done, Pokemon Delta was the most recent name that I can think of that they did. Before that I remember was Water Blue. I remember Gray. And then I've also remember doing some research before. There was trademarks for Pokemon Brown, Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Crimson, Pokemon Purple. I recently just found out for Pokemon Topaz, Pokemon White Gold, Pokemon Moonstone, Pokemon Amethyst, and then there's another one that I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm just not going to even try. It starts with a T. And they trademark names from time to time, and they do this so if they ever want to use that title, they can use it, basically. Or, for copyrights such as the Delta Emerald is, because they don't want anyone to use that name, or like Pokemon Gray or the Water Blue. But I don't know if this is going to be our 7th gen or not, because I feel as there should be a Pokemon Z or Pokemon whatever for a third game for Pokemon Z or XY 6th gen, whatever, before they come out with the new generation. So there's that.
Moosh, thoughts?
Kind of like what Linz was saying, I don't see a 7th gen yet. Mainly because they've made such a ruckus about what is it, Zygarde 100% form or perfect form or whatever. Basically,
Super Perfect Cell.
Yeah, Super Perfect Cell. And then the new anime being called XYZ, there's such a focus around a Z game. I don't really see them skipping over it, mainly because since Gen 1, there's always been a third game. There's been Blue, there's been Crystal, there's been Emerald, Platinum, and then you had Black and White too, which are, maybe we would see like an X2Y2 or an XZYZ, something like that, but I don't see them only having 2 games in Gen 6, or us not included, of course, because there's so much that was left unanswered in X and Y, especially with AZ's story. I can really see more into that, but if you really think about it, Sun and Moon could be like a 2017 release or something like that. And the reason I say that is because there is, with the Direct coming out tomorrow, I don't see them making an announcement for a completely new generation only a few months before it's released. because there's been rumors about, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it in Japanese, but the Pokemon Rainbow game coming out. I see that maybe as kind of just like a placeholder name. Because there hasn't been any other news on it. So I don't really see a 7th gen this.
All right. Well, my thoughts. I think this is legit. I think we're gonna see these announced tomorrow. Now, if they're coming out this year, this is gonna prove my theory that Generation 6 was an absolutely failure of a generation. So there's that. Or they're going to announce them, and they're also going to announce Pokemon Z tomorrow as well. They're going to announce Sun and Moon as something to look forward to next year. And then the other thought is these could be sequels to X and Y. Whereas you have Sun representing Xerneas as life, the beginning of life. And then Moon, darkness. You have Yveltal, death. Kind of makes sense in a way. Just a thought. But it's hard to think about exactly what it's gonna be. So I think it's either going to be next gen games that are going to be announced tomorrow, and they're also going to announce Z, or these are the sequels to X and Y. Because there's still a lot of Kalos that we could explore. And realistically, I mean, X and Y just flopped in my mind. Very little to do post-game. The storyline was horrible. Team Flare made absolutely no sense. So, sequel seems to make more sense. Or next gen, with Z being announced as well. Who knows? We'll have to see. Another little thought I had, which makes completely no sense now that I'm thinking about it, was some sort of retitling of Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale Darkness to come to the DS, but thinking about it, that just makes no sense. But, those are my thoughts on what it could possibly be. Now, I guess real quick, because we're going to keep this short, we'll go around the table. I guess ask if this is Gen 7, 3 things you want from it. We'll start with Rizu.
3 things I want is definitely a new evolution type again. Usually evolution types comes out in 2s. Gen 6 was the first time it didn't, with Sylveon by itself. Another thing would be a few more Mega Evolutions for some new Pokemon that really, I think, need them. And a fire type that doesn't flop in the final one. Happy that it wasn't firefighting, but I have to say Delphox, its aesthetics definitely kind of failed, and I wasn't happy with it.
All right, Lindsay, real quick, 3 things you want to see.
Obviously, more evolutions, and I completely agree with what Rizu said about, they normally come out in 2s, and then Gen 6 we only got Sylveon. I would love to hopefully see either a Ghost or a Dragon type evolution. Those are my 2 top right now. Next, obviously more Megas would be great. Obviously Flygon Mega would be awesome. I mean, we were all hoping that for Oris, and then it didn't happen. And, some Megas that, Robert and I were talking about. There were some, like, Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon that definitely needed some love and some Megas. I remember one of them being, like, a Golduck. Come on. How cool would a Mega Golduck look? Just saying. And thirdly, I would like a more interesting plot line for the game itself and a better paced game. I've noticed in the past with more of the storyline driven games, such as Diamond, Pearl, Black, White, and X and Y, where the plot, it slows down, like in the very beginning, where it's very, very slow, and then it speeds up, and then it's just done and over with. Basically, once you hit like the fourth gym, after that you just have everything in a snap, and it's just like, oh, now what? Like, you spent all this time on the first half of the game, and then the last half of the game is just over just like that. You know what I mean? I would like a
That's
better
because
space game.
that's also because of that EXP share. It overpowered everything and made it too easy.
Mhm.
Well, it's not
Oh, yeah.
not just X and Y though too. I've noticed that with Diamond and Pearl and Black and White, both fifth and fourth gen storylines. There's it's just not evenly paced out. It's just
Well,
the first half of the
to
game
credit-
takes longer. You spend more time in the first half of the game than you do on the second half. I'm not just talking about
Platinum-
after game or
Platinum
anything.
fixed that in Gen 4. With Gen 4, they fixed that with Platinum.
Kind of, but not really, in my opinion. But you know, each their own. So.
All right. Moosh, 3 things you want to see.
I want to see an overhaul to the IV-EV system. Something that can make it... Because X and Y did make it easier to get perfect battle competitive Pokemon, but not to a point where you can have it in just a few tries. You still have to spend hours hatching and breeding over and over and over again to actually get into the competitive scene, because if you just go with a normal team that you catch out in the wild, you're going to be absolutely destroyed. Another thing I want to see, and this, I don't take credit for this idea, I actually saw it on a Game Explained discussion. Black and White had the Black City and White Forest, and they mentioned something that sounded really cool, like an area that you can only go to during the day in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and only an area you can go at night that are complete opposites of each other. I think that would be another really cool thing.
Mhm.
And then, for a third thing that I want to see is the complete removal of story necessary HMs. HMs are still fine, but not to the point where you need them to progress the game. Like, get rid of Cut. Get rid of Flash. Strength, I don't know, sometimes strength is fun, like in Victory Road in first gen when you have to use it to solve a puzzle, but not when you just have to push a rock 2 or 3 spaces to continue. That's just really annoying. And also speed up Surf, because especially in Gen 3, when half the map was water, just the slow movement, it killed the game for me.
All right. All right. So, first things first, and this is important to me, the water starter type has to be a killer whale type Pokemon. Absolutely has to be one. A water ice type killer whale type Pokemon. That's all I want for the water starter. The other starters can be crap. I want that for the water starter.
Hey.
Number 2, if you haven't played the TCG lately, they've introduced a new type of card called Break. I would like to see that somehow brought into the games as a new form that specific Pokemon could go to. So you'd have Mega Evolution and Break attacks. I think that would be cool. Number
Yeah, I
3. Well,
actually have a theory about that.
go ahead.
If you look at all the Break Pokemon, they're all Pokemon. None of the Break Pokemon have Mega Evolutions, at least to my knowledge. And there's some of the more fan populars like Golduck, like Luxray, like Noctowl. All
And
Pokemon
Peleon.
that could see a and
Right.
Peleon. All Pokemon that could see a Mega Evolution. So I see all the Pokemon that they chose for Break Pokemon receiving a Mega Evolution in the next game.
That too.
That's my theory, anyway.
And then the third thing I'd like to see. Now, these games are being titled Sun and Moon. Now, what games before that sort of represented Sun and Moon really well? Can you guys take a guess?
Silver and Gold.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would like to see us go back to Johto in Sun and Moon as the post game.
Well, I heard rumors. I think this was about the Pokemon Rainbow that was rumor going around. But there was supposed to be a game that goes back to Johto or Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn, and that's what that's supposed to be about.
Well, who knows? That's what these could be. And that would kind of make sense. If it's going to be 7th gen, the post game, you need to go back to Johto. And that's the region fans want to go back to the most, it seems. and it's small enough that you could go back to it and fit it all into the game. It would be cool to challenge the Johto gym leaders again. It'd be cool to go back however many years later and see what's changed, and to catch Ho-Oh and Lugia again. That would be cool, and to fight Gold possibly, or Silver. Who knows? But I would like to see the region going to another region brought back. And I guess it makes sense with Sun and Moon, considering the titles. I mean, that represents Gold and Silver best. So who knows? Could even be a sequel to Gold and Silver. We really don't know. Or it could be nothing.
It'd really be cool. I love Johto. Johto is a beautiful region. I like the pacing of the game. It's not like where you spend the first half of the game, taking forever, and the second half is gone like that. It's a whole challenge. Right. The whole game is a challenge.
Well, not really.
I mean, like with all the puzzles it is, and it's evenly paced. You know what I mean? It's not like
right.
It's not where it's challenging in the beginning and the ending is easy. The whole game, not just the first half of the game where you're in Johto, but the whole game where you're in Kanto and Johto is a whole challenge. Especially when you have to go up and beat Red. Like
right.
Red was a huge challenge as a kid. I mean, he still can be a challenge now. I mean, obviously we're smarter now and we can plan better, but, he's still a big pain if you're not ready.
Now imagine kids these days getting to face Gold's Typhlosion. Boy, that would be awesome. So, I guess we're going to end it off here. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I have one final thought. Honestly, I do not see anything other than maybe Pokemon Go, like an announcement for Pokemon Go being announced tomorrow, only for the simple fact that it's a 5-minute long direct. I think that's something that's commonly overlooked, is it's only 5 minutes.
Well, X and Y was announced in 4. Keep that in mind.
But it's also the 20th anniversary, so I see more than 1 minute being devoted to the entire 20 years of Pokemon. I see it more like maybe 1 minute being just set aside for announcements, and then like 4 minutes being a retrospective, looking at all the old footage of games up to now, seeing what's changed, seeing how the community has grown. I don't honestly see another big title being released. I don't think we're going to see that
in the direct, to be honest. I think they're just going to release a separate video about that. And just because they say it's going to be 5 minutes doesn't mean it's going to be 5 minutes. It could go a little bit longer. Anyone else with final thoughts?
No, I think we're all set.
All right. Well, guys, so this has been our little breaking news for you. So we're going to have this up as soon as possible. Also, we're going to have our first podcast back. So if our first podcast back sounds kind of weird, that's because we recorded that before this. But look forward to that. It's our 20th anniversary discussion. It's going to be a good one to listen to. Lots of laughs, joys, Steves, and pretty big announcements relating to us in there. So we're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to the Nintendo Direct tomorrow, and we will talk to you guys later. Admin Jet signing off.
Adam and Lynn signing off. See ya. Moosh.
Say goodbye to our fans.
Goodbye, people. I'm sorry, I'm a problem child.
Right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
We're here before Steve ruins it more. Goodbye, everyone.